Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I really appreciate you guys taking your time and tuning into my YouTube channel. So yeah, I'm back with another video. Before we jump into today's video, I just want to congratulate two lucky subscribers, Kanyisa Gift Mabaso and Takaro Sten. You guys are the lucky winner of the DKDEFT merchandise on the video that I did about 3-4 weeks ago, where I actually show you guys how I managed to buy things from Amazon in the United States and ship them into South Africa, and how much the whole package of purchasing cost me. So if you want to win, make sure that you're subscribed to this channel and then hit the notification button so that you get notified when I upload videos. So you guys, Kanyisa and DK, I'll be contacting you guys to get you your prices. So in today's video, we're going to be looking into one of the items that I actually unboxed or actually show you guys on that video when I actually ordered the stuff from Amazon. So the item that I'm going to start with, which is the only item for this video, by the way, it's the Amazon Echo Dot third generation, which is this device that comes into this package. I've already unboxed it. I've been using it for quite some time. I think a week after I bought it, I actually unboxed it, and then I started using it to test so that I can give you guys a feedback as to how it works actually in Africa, South Africa in particular. So the device that I have here with me is the Amazon Echo Dot, which looks like this. I hope it's clear, you can see, or it's visible. So basically what you see around it is just the two ports or the two jacks. One jack is for the audio, which means you can split audio out into a speaker or a subwoofer or a soundbar. The other one is just for power, and there's no other port that you can actually plug anything on it apart from these two, which you see here. So this one is the power one, and then this one is the audio one, which means it's a line out where you can actually plug it to an external speaker to get like a louder sound. And then on top, you actually find in 4 microphones, which goes in with the button, but the button actually performs different functions. So all these 4 microphones actually for this device to listen to the commands or whatever question you want to ask it, and then it will actually respond to you with the speaker. There's actually a surround speaker around it, which means it actually have to give you 360 surround sound. And then these buttons that you see here on top here, we have a volume down and then a volume up, and then we also have a mute or and then the play on this side. So basically those are the 4 buttons. And then I mean, there's no really need for you to actually use this button, because you can actually tell this thing what you want it to do. So maybe for those of you who don't know what this Echo Dot is for or what you actually use it for, so the Echo Dot, it actually runs as a personal assistant, which we call Alexa in this case. So Alexa, you're able to ask Alexa any questions that you have, and then Alexa will tell you what, if it knows the answer, it will actually tell you whatever you're asking. For example, Alexa, play today's top hit, Alexa, call my mom, and then Alexa, what's the weather? But then because we're in South Africa, those are like not fully functional. So firstly, you need to have an app in order for you to actually connect Alexa or this Echo Dot to actually work with your environment or what you have. And another thing I would like to say, this device doesn't work without the internet. So if you just switch it on, it will tell you that it has a problem connecting, and then which means you won't be able to do anything without the internet. So another thing is the Amazon Echo Dot app or Amazon Alexa app. It's not available on the App Store, the South African one. I'm not sure other countries, but it's not available on the South African store, so which means you have to have like a US account, like what I had to do. So I have 2 Apple IDs, so I actually switched to other one to actually update it, and then switch back to my South African one just to download the application. So if you have this device, you won't be able to get the app that controls this application or this personal assistant. So you will need to have the American Apple ID in order for you to download it. And then another thing is the setup doesn't actually work fully. So for example, it's not recognizing my location. However, if I want to ask things like weather, I will need to say the name of the location, like Johannesburg, South Africa, or Pretoria, South Africa, Midrand, South Africa. Then it will be able to pick up exactly what I'm asking it. And another thing is the issue of accent. So my accent or my voice is actually a bit deep, so I had to be carefully of what I'm actually saying, or the angle or the tone of my voice, so that it actually picks up what I'm saying. So let's see what they say in the box. So they said in the box you actually found this is the Echo Dot, and then within the Echo Dot it has the capability of running Alexa, like we said, that's the personal assistant, and then it is the Bluetooth, and then it is Wi-Fi, it has an audio line like I showed you here, so which means you're able to connect this device to the Bluetooth as well as Wi-Fi. And then what you're finding in the box, so you're actually finding this plug. So this is an American standard plug that actually comes in with the device. So which means in South Africa, we don't actually have a port, like a standard plug to actually plug in this adapter. So you will need to get something like this, which is a travel plug that I got at Cape Union for 125 rands. And then it actually works. So I just plugged this device in here, and then I can plug it to, this is the South African standard of the plugs that we have. And basically that's it. So I'm just gonna demonstrate for you guys as to what I've been using it for and how you can actually use it for. So there's about maybe 4 or 5 commands that I'm gonna test for you and actually show you. One of them, it actually involves having to control a light using voice command like Alexa, switch on the light, switch off the light, what's the weather, and then what's the time, and then actually ask it to play some music on Spotify. So you can actually connect it to your Spotify. However, it doesn't work with the free account. You have to be on Spotify Premium, like what I did. And then another thing, you can ask it to read things like books if you have connected the books. And then the function of it having to call someone doesn't work in South Africa unless that person has an Alexa app that's actually active. You can actually connect to the next person. However, normally it wouldn't call anybody. I think this function only works in the United States, Canada, as well as in Mexico. So let's go ahead and test it. So I have a lamp with me. This is my side lamp that I put next to my TV. So actually, as I'm watching the TV, I would like to increase or reduce the brightness depending on how much light I want. So I can actually use Alexa through this device to actually reduce or increase the brightness of that light for me. So let's start with that as a demonstration, and then I think we can go into other commands. So let me just plug it quickly. So yeah, I've connected Alexa, so it's fully connected here. I hope everything is set up as it was before. So let's see how it works. So before we actually start, I want to show you the light that I'm going to be using for test. It's actually this one on this lamp stand here. I must let you know that this stand, it's a touch. So just by me touching it, it actually switches on the lights, and then it is like 3 modes. I think it's low, mid, and actually high. That's in terms of brightness. And then the light bulb itself, which is the Philips Hue light that comes into this package. I'm sure I've shown you guys on my initial video when I opened the whole package about this. So these lights are Bluetooth lights, which you can control over the light using the Philips Hue Bluetooth app on your smart device. So this light somewhere it will flicker because there's a conflict between the operations on the controls of this holder as well as the light itself. So just bear with me if you see the light flickering. It's because of the conflicts between the two systems. I just don't have any other one. The other one that I have is the 2 lights that I'm using to actually light up this video. So Alexa, switch off the first light.
Okay.
All right, so let's go ahead now and test if it will be able to switch on and off this light here. Alexa, switch on the first light. Okay.
Okay.
Alexa, switch off the first light.
Okay.
So basically that's how it works. So maybe you might be asking yourself, how does it know that this is the first light? It's because when I actually connect and set up the light, it asked me to name it. So I just named this one the first light, and then there's actually another one here which I'm gonna set these 2 lights here in my living room. So the first light will go there, and then the second light will go there. So that one over there, which is gonna be the first light, will be the one that I control the most because it's just right above my TV area where I don't actually like to have too much light. So yeah, that's it about the light. So I can usually try to show you. Alexa, switch on the first light.
Okay.
Alexa, dim the first light.
Okay.
Alexa, dim the first light.
Okay.
Alexa, dim the first light.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if you guys were able to see as Alexa is busy dimming the light, but it's because of the controls between the two, like I said. So, but you can actually put it in a way you want. You can actually do this using the app to say, instead of you having to tell it so many times, you can go to the app and then reduce the brightness on the light. You can actually change it between day mode to the night mode, and then between cool and warm to actually reflect how you want the light to display. So I'm gonna put this aside and then we'll see that on another video. So let's do like commands like, Alexa, what's the weather like in Johannesburg, South Africa?
In Johannesburg, South Africa, it's 85 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly sunny skies. Tonight, you can look for clear skies with a low of 56 degrees.
Yeah, interesting. Alexa, what's the weather like in Pretoria?
In Pretoria, South Africa, it's 87 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. Tonight, you can look for clear skies with a low of 59 degrees.
Nice. So that's actually the kind of things you can ask, like, Alexa, who's the president of South Africa?
The president of South Africa is Madamela Cyril Ramaphosa.
Then it knows, but you know, there's that challenge of it having to pronounce those African names and yeah, things like that. And then yeah, pretty much that's it when it comes to the things like weather or the time or information like who's the president of a certain country. So, and then you find things like asking Alexa things that like having to read your calendar. For example, Alexa, what's on my calendar for the week? Alexa, what's on my calendar for the week?
Here are the next 4 events. On Thursday, September 26th, at 10 a.m. there's ICT operations. On Monday, September 30th, at 9 a.m. there's operating period meeting. On Thursday, October 3rd, at 10 a.m. there's ICT operations. And on Tuesday, October 8th, at 10 a.m. there's training on dawn raids and electronic alert tool. Do you want to hear more?
No, thanks. So basically those are some of the items that I have on my work calendar. So you can actually connect multiple calendars and then it will ask you which one you want to read or you want to hear from. And then another thing will be like your music. So I've connected mine to my Spotify premium account, and then I can ask it to play any song. I can actually ask it to play my playlist, or I can play a specific song within the playlist. For example, Alexa, shuffle DK playlist from Spotify.
Shuffling this is the key from Spotify.
That's not what I said. Alexa, stop. Alexa, shuffle DK playlist from Spotify.
Shuffling DK from Spotify.
Alexa, stop. So that's one of the tracks that I have on my DK playlist. So I've created a playlist that I actually play on the background when I'm actually shooting videos or taking photos. So I can actually use Alexa to jump from one track to the other and things like that without me having to go and interact with any device. For example, Alexa, resume. Alexa, next. Alexa, reduce volume to 2. So it has jumped to the next track and immediately reduced the volume to 2. So basically that's how it works. Alexa, stop. Then you can actually tell it to stop, and then it will stop right where you actually told it to stop if it's playing music. And then you can choose any random track that you can think of, as long as if it's available on Spotify, you'll be able to get it. And then probably maybe one last command that I just want to try for you. It's Alexa, read for me Matthew 4 verse 4 from the YouVersion Bible.
But he answered, "It is written, man Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God.
So basically, this is the Bible app that I have on my phone. And we all know that the YouVersion Bible has now support audio, which means you won't actually have to read. You can ask the app to read for you. You can click on play, and then it will play or to read the scripture for you on the audio version. And then as we're talking about the extending, so you can actually use your normal audio jack to connect from Alexa to this, or this is a JBL Flip 4 speaker that I did a video about it. You can go and check it on the list of my videos. So if you want more audio from this, you can actually hook it up with the audio jack, and then you can actually connect it here. So thank you so much guys for tuning, and I will see you guys on my next video. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure that you subscribe.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.